Dear students and friends of Cultural Diplomacy Institute in Berlin, why do you need a cultural diplomacy? This new concept our institute and academy tries to promote with such devotion and commitment. My answer is because the world is changing. And if the world is changing, politics in its high signifying community interest service should change too. The famous Prussian strategic theorist Clausewitz taught that war is a continuation of politics using other means. I believe that peace may also be a result of the politics led with other kind of means. One of these means is cultural diplomacy, which, without aiming to remove the traditional diplomacy of dialogue between different interests and supported by different kind of pressures as well as force threatening, can enrich it with a new element, dialogue based on understanding the other. And in a wider meaning, I talk about a better understanding of the world we live in. In my opinion, the first step cultural diplomacy should take would be to make a conceptual map of the international political universe. On it, we could draw the different worlds populating our planet, the postmodern, the modern, and the pre-modern ones. Only on such a foundation we can build politics and security strategies proper for a fast-changing and contradictory world. The preventive vocation will constitute the keystone of its short-term activities. This fact involves a raising complexity of the analysis and action ways. The repetitive crises have shown that, unfortunately, punctual preventive intervention are not enough and should be inserted in a complex of long-term actions which needs to take into account the overall aspect of some regions and the overall aspects of the problems that might create, destabilize, starting with economic difficulties and going to the stereotypes anchored in conflicting mentalities, from the precariousness of communication ways to the security of unconventional risks. Institute of Cultural Diplomacy can act as a laboratory where political culture of global security is created through mutual trust, negotiation, and cooperation. It can identify major risks, define and implement programs to enhance mutual trust, both in countries with high risks and in potential conflict areas. In this laboratory, young students and master students can meet formal statesmen. They can share their experience of democratic statesmen, while teachers and researchers from the academic field can develop this new concept necessary for a long-term strategy. Both concept and experience might be wasted without the interest, questions, and fresh thinking of the young generation, which enriches the debate within ICD conferences and generates novelty. What kind of novelty? I believe that in what concerns the field of foreign relationship, cultural diplomacy can be a creative technology. It is necessary because preventive vocation will be the cornerstone of diplomacy in the near future. The great contribution preventive cultural diplomacy brings to the architecture of world security will undoubtedly be of those wars that have never occurred, due to the creation of democratic mechanism for dialogue and strengthening cooperation with civil society in 21st century.